Death has reared himself a throne.
In a strange city, alone.
Death has reared himself a throne. In a strange city, alone. Their shrines and palaces are not like ours. They do not tremble and rot, eaten with time.
Death has reared himself a throne.
Lifted by forgotten winds. Resignedly beneath the sky, the melancholy waters lie. A crown of stars.
In a strange city, alone.
A heaven God does not condemn. But the everlasting shadow makes mockery of it all.
No holy rays come down. Lights from the lurid deep sea stream up the turrets silently. Up thrones, up arbors of sculpted ivy and stone flowers, up domes, up spires, kingly halls, all are melancholy shrines. The columns freeze and entablature chokingly, shockingly intertwined. The mast, the viol, and the vine, twisted.
There, amid no earthly moans, hell rises from 1,000 thrones, does reverence to death, and death does give his undivided time.
There are open temples and graves on a level with the waves. Death looms and looks huge, gigantic. There is a ripple, now a wave, towers thrown aside, sinking in the dull tide, the waves growing redder, the very hours losing their breath.
Oh, the cunning stars, watching fitfully over night after night of matchless, wretched sleep, matched only with the horror of the dream unfolding, the telltale beating of the heart, the suffocating breath, the desire, the pose. One poses upon the precipice, to fall, to run, to dive, to tumble, to fall down, down into the spiral, down, and then one sees one's own death. One sees one committing murder or atrocious violent acts. And then a cursed shadow, not of man or God, but a shadow resting upon a brazen doorway. There were 7 of us there who saw the shadow as it came out from among the draperies, but we did not dare behold it. We looked down into the depths of the mirror of ebony, and the apparition spoke. I am a shadow, and I dwell in the catacombs which border the country of illusion, hard by the dim plains of wishing. And then did we start shuddering, starting from our seats, trembling, for the tones and the voice of the shadow were not the tones of any one man, but of a multitude of beings, and varying in their cadences from syllable to syllable fell duskily upon our ears in the well-remembered and familiar accents of 1,000 departed friends.
And then I had a vision.
Edgar, my dear friend Edgar.
It's been a long time, Roderick. I've ridden many miles. It's been a dull and soundless day for autumn. The leaves have lost their autumn glow, and the clouds seem oppressive with their drifting finery.
I know, my friend. Though I own so much of this land, I find the country insufferable. I deal only in half-pleasures.
Speaking of half-pleasure, would you care for a tincture of opium?
Nothing would please me more than to smoke with an old friend. I've experienced the hideous dropping of the veil, the bitter lapse into common life, unredeemed dreariness of thought. I have an iciness, a sickening of the heart.
It's true, you don't look well, Roderick, but I am your friend, no matter the occasion or position of the stars. I'm glad you wrote me, but I must admit to concern.
I cannot contain my heart. Edgar, I look to you for solace, for relief from myself. What I have is constitution, a family evil, a nervous affection that must surely pass, but I do have this morbid acuteness of senses. I can eat only the most insipid food, clothes only of the lightest texture. The odor of flowers I find oppressive. My eyes cannot bear even the faintest light. Did you hear that?
I hear. I am listening. Go on.
I shall perish. I will perish in this deplorable folly. I dread the future, not the events, the results. The most trivial event causes the greatest agitation of the soul. I do not fear danger except in its absolute effect, terror. I find I must inevitably abandon life and reason together in my struggles with the demon fear. Perhaps you'll think me superstitious, but the physique of this place, it hovers about me like a great body, some diseased outer shell, some decaying finite skin encasing my morale.
You'd mentioned your sister was ill.
My beloved sister, my sole companion, has had a long, continuing illness whose inevitable conclusion seems forsworn. This will leave me the last of the ancient race of Ushers.
She looks so much like you.
I love her in a nameless way, more than I love myself. Her demise will leave me hopelessly confined to memories and realities of a future so barren as to be stultifying.
Well, what of physicians?
They are baffled. Until today, she refused bed rest, wanting to be present in your honor, but finally she succumbed to the prostrating power of the destroyer. You will probably see her no more.
Sound and music take us to the twin curves of experience. Like brother and sister intertwined, they relieve themselves of bodily contact and dance in a pagan revelry.
I have soiled myself with my designs. I'm ashamed of my brain. The enemy is me, and the executioner terror. Music is a reflection of our inner self. Unfiltered agony touches the wayward string. The wayward brain confuses itself with the self-perceived future and turns inward with loathing and terror. Either by design or thought, we are doomed to know our own end. I have written a lyric.
May I hear it?
It is called The Haunted Palace. In the greenest of our valleys, by good angels tenanted, once a fair and stately palace, snow-white palace, reared its head. Banners yellow, glorious, golden, on its roof did float and flow. All this was in the olden time long ago. And every gentle air that dallied along the rampart, plumed and pallid, a winged odor went away. All wanderers in that happy valley through two luminous windows saw spirits moving musically, the sovereign of the realm serene, a troop of echoes whose sweet duty was but to sing in voices of surpassing beauty the wit and wisdom of the king. But evil things, in robes of sorrow, assailed the monarch's high estate, and round about his home the glory is but a dim remembered story. Vast forms that move fantastically to a discordant melody, while like a ghastly river a hideous throng rush out forever and laugh, but smile no more, nevermore.
It's cold in here.
I tell you, minerals are sentient things. The gradual yet certain condensation of an atmosphere of their own about the waters in the walls proves this. Thus the silent, yes, importunate and terrible influence which for centuries has molded my family and now me. Excuse me. She is gone. Out, sad light. Roderick has no life. I shall preserve her corpse for a fortnight.
Roderick.
I shall place it in a vault facing the lake. I do not wish to answer to the medical men, nor place her in the exposed burial plot of my family. We shall inter her at the proper date, when I am more fully of a right mind. Her malady was unusual. Please do not question me on this.
I cannot question you.
Then help me now.
One would think you twins.
We are. We have always been sympathetic to each other. Have you seen this? It is her.
It is a whirlwind. You must not behold this. Roderick, these appearances which bewilder you are mere electrical phenomena, not uncommon. Or perhaps they have their rank origins in the marshy gases of the lake. Please, let's close this casement, and I will read and you will listen, and together we will pass this terrible night together. What's that? What is that? Don't you hear that?
Not hear it. Yes, I hear it, and I've heard it many minutes. Have I heard it? Oh, pity me. Miserable wretch. I dared not. Oh, no. I dared not speak. We have put her living in the tomb. I have heard feeble movements in the coffin. I thought I heard. I dared not speak. Oh, God. I have heard footsteps. Do you not hear them? Attention. Do I not distinguish that heavy and horrible beating of her heart? Madman. Madman! I tell you, she now stands without the door.
Guilty, guilty. Guilty, I'm paralyzed with guilt. It runs through me like a rain through silk. Guilty, my mind won't leave me alone. My teeth all rotten, my lips start to foam, 'cause I'm so guilty. Guilty, guilty, ooh, guilty. What did I say? What did I say? What did I do? Did I ever do it to you? Don't turn your back. I can't look you in the eye. I'm guilty as charged. I guess I'm guilty as charged. Guilty, 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 guilty. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do what? You're such a child, a willful child. Guilty. What can I do? I do it to you, but I do it to me too. Cut off my head, my head, hang me from the yard arm. Guilty, I'm paralyzed with guilt. I got a bad thoughts, I got an evil clit. Guilty. Mind won't leave me alone. I got a bad mind, I got a bad bone. Guilty, guilty, guilty as charged. Guilty. Don't do that. Don't do what? Don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, you're such a reckless child. Don't do that. You remember when you were a baby? Do 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 you have a jury? Yeah. Do you have a verdict? Guilty as charged. Guilty, guilty, guilty as charged. Do they have a verdict? Do they have a verdict? I'm guilty. You're guilty. Oh, you're such a reckless child. I should beat you, I should hit you. I'll put you in therapy,